Something big just went down in the Pi network world, and it's got the entire community buzzing. We're talking about a jaw-dropping move involving 200 million Pi tokens. Yes, 200 million, mysteriously pulled from the liquidity reserve and quietly moved to a brand new wallet. What does this mean? A secret deal? A whale-making power plays behind the scenes? Or is it a clue that Pi network is gearing up for something massive on June 28th, also known as Pi Day 2? Buckle up, because we're diving into all the drama, the price tension, the bullish hopes, and the burning frustrations, right here, right now. Before we get deep into this, let me ask you, do you think Pi will hit $2 this year? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to check out my last few videos for all the latest on Pi Network's mainnet launch, KYC drama, migration updates, and much more. Link is right there in the description. Also, if you're riding with Pi, type Pi Network to the moon in the comments and rep your country. We want to see where all the true pioneers are watching from. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to support this channel so we can keep bringing you real-time updates and deep dives on everything Pi Network. You can also join our Telegram group and Facebook page for community discussions and breaking updates. And just a quick reminder, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It's not financial advice. Now, let's get started. In the world of crypto, it only takes one quiet move to cause a storm of speculation. That's exactly what happened recently when 200 million Pi tokens vanished from Pi Network's liquidity reserve and reappeared in an entirely new wallet. No big announcement, no flashy headlines, just a silent shift that's got everyone guessing. Was it a private buyout, a whale flexing, or a secret setup for something bigger? Whatever it is, it's turned heads, and the timing couldn't be more interesting. This major transaction wasn't just a small transfer between wallets, it was massive. And when something of this size happens, people talk. One of the loudest voices in the community, a popular commentator known as Moon Jeff on X, couldn't stay silent. He believes it wasn't just a random shuffle. Nope, in his opinion, this was likely an OTC, over-the-counter deal. That means someone, probably a big player, bought up those tokens away from public exchanges, away from the noise, and away from the eyes of most of the market. Why does that matter? Because OTC deals usually hint at something bullish. Think about it. If someone's willing to scoop up a massive amount of Pi privately, they're probably in it for the long haul. They might believe Pi is about to explode, and they want a piece of the pie before it's too late. That's not the kind of move someone makes if they think Pi is on the decline. It's a power move, a sign that behind the scenes someone still believes in Pi's future. Now let's talk about the price, because that's where things get a little, well, real. At the time this all went down, Pi was hovering around $0.6418. A small bump, just a 1.78% increase in 24 hours. Not terrible, but not earth-shattering either. Especially considering that over the past month, Pi had dropped a staggering 40%. Even over the past week, it slid down another 1.6%. The truth is, Pi hasn't seen a major breakout yet. It's still lurking near its all-time low, far from its glorious highs. But this whale-sized transaction injected some fresh optimism into a market that's been gasping for good news. Moon Jeff wasn't done. He fired off another hot take saying Pi needs to return to $1.20, calling it a crucial resistance point. Break that, he argues, and Pi could start climbing again, maybe even reaching for the stars at $2. Bold prediction? Absolutely. But in crypto, boldness is part of the game. Of course, not everyone's on board with that optimism. As always, the community split down the middle. Some cheered Jeff's prediction, dreaming of that $2 comeback. Others, not so much. The sarcasm rolled in quickly. "Yeah, good luck with that," said one commenter. Another quipped, "We'll be lucky if it hits 70 cents again." For many, the confidence in Pi's recovery just isn't there. They've been through delays, disappointments, and silence from their core team. And right now, trust is on thin ice. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because June 28th is right around the corner. Known as Pi Day 2, this date isn't just another day on the calendar for pioneers. It's a potential turning point. The Pi core team traditionally uses this day to announce milestones, reveal updates, and if rumors are true, possibly finally land that dream Binance listing. Yep, the B word. That's the one everyone's been waiting for. Could this massive token movement be part of that bigger picture? Could Pi be prepping for something huge, and this OTC-style deal is a quiet setup for what's about to come? Maybe. Or maybe it's just another chapter in a story that's been full of hope, hype, and hesitation. Dr. Altcoin, another respected analyst, isn't so convinced. He's been vocal about his disappointment with the Pi Core team. In his words, there's been too much talk and not enough delivery. The updates, too vague. The progress, too slow. He says if Pi wants to attract real investors, not just die-hard fans, the team needs to take stronger, clearer action, and soon. Investors aren't looking for dreams anymore, they want results. And while we're on the topic of frustration, let's talk about the elephant in the room, KYC. Even now, long after completing all the steps, many verified pioneers are still waiting to receive their tokens. Their wallets remain stuck in limbo, and support? Well, it's been less than reassuring. For a project that promises decentralization and empowerment, this delay is testing the patience of even the most loyal supporters. So what's really going on? Is this just another cycle of hype, or are we on the verge of something real? That 200 million token move might not seem like much on the surface, but in crypto, the smallest ripple can turn into a tidal wave. Big players don't move that kind of volume without purpose. And the timing, right before Pi Day 2, feels too perfect to ignore. And let's not forget what's at stake. If Pi can break out of its slump, solve the KYC mess, deliver a solid update on June 28th, and maybe, just maybe, secure a listing on Binance, it could change the entire narrative. The price might surge, confidence might return, and Pi Network could finally step into the spotlight it's been chasing for years. But if nothing changes, if June 28th comes and goes, with more vague promises and no real action, the frustration will deepen, the sarcasm will turn to anger, and even the faithful might start walking away. So here we are, caught in the middle of hope and doubt, watching every move like detectives at a crime scene. The 200 million Pi transaction wasn't just a number, it was a signal, a clue. And the big question now is, what comes next? So, let's wrap it up. We've just broken down one of the biggest behind-the-scenes moves in Pi Network's recent history. 200 million Pi tokens removed from the liquidity reserve and dropped into a new wallet, possibly through a private OTC deal. We've explored the price situation, community reactions, bullish predictions, and ongoing frustrations, especially with KYC and communication issues. And all of this is happening just weeks before Pi Day 2, where expectations are sky high for real game-changing updates. If you found value in this deep dive, make sure you hit that like button, share this with your fellow pioneers, and subscribe so you never miss a beat in the Pi Network universe. Every click helps us bring you more content, more updates, and more clarity in this fast-changing space. Now I've got a question for you. Do you believe Pi will hit $2 in 2025? Or is the road still too rocky? Drop your answers down in the comments. And if you've got a question, frustration, or even a theory, let's hear it. We're building this channel together, and your voice matters. Thanks for watching. Stay strong, pioneers, and I'll catch you in the next video.